Nobody cares. Let me say that again. Nobody cares. You know what? That's a gift. It's a blessing. Because once you realize that, once you truly understand that no one is going to hand you success, no one's going to feel sorry for you when you fall, that's when you get serious. That's when you stop waiting for someone to come and rescue you and you put in the work. Nobody cares. Good. That means it's on you. You want something, go get it, put in the hours, make the sacrifices, focus on yourself. Stop worrying about what they're doing. They're not thinking about you, so stop thinking about them. You have a purpose, you have goals, and at the end of the day, it's your life, your grind, your future. So let's go. Let's get to work. From the moment we are born, we are taught to look to others for guidance, for help, for support. As children, our parents are our lifeline. They nurture us, they guide us, and they provide for us. As we grow older, society continues to reinforce the idea that we need others in order to succeed. We look to our teachers, our friends, our colleagues, our families, and even strangers for approval, validation, and direction. It's natural to seek comfort in the presence of others. But as we move through life, there comes a point when you realize that the only person who truly holds the keys to your future is you. Self-reliance is a concept that requires us to break free from the chains of dependence on others. It's not about rejecting the help or support of others when necessary. It's about understanding that at the end of the day, the responsibility for your own success lies within you. Nobody can walk your journey for you. Nobody can carry your burdens, take your risks, or make the decisions that are ultimately yours to make. The path to achieving your goals is yours to pave, and the steps you take along the way are entirely yours to decide. When you own your journey, you acknowledge that the power to shape your destiny is in your hands. You are the one who must show up every day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what's happening around you. External circumstances may influence your path, but they do not define it. No matter how hard the world might push back, or how many people doubt you, it's your determination, your actions, and your perseverance that will lead you forward. One of the most difficult aspects of embracing self-reliance is learning to trust yourself. Too often, we rely on the opinions and validation of others to guide our decisions. We ask for approval before taking risks, seeking reassurance that we're on the right track. But the truth is, nobody knows your life, your desires, or your potential better than you do. You have the power within you to make the decisions that will shape your future, even when they don't make sense to anyone else. The more you trust your instincts and your abilities, the more you'll develop confidence in your own journey. Owning your journey also means accepting responsibility for your failures. In a world where people are quick to point fingers and blame others for their misfortunes, it's easy to fall into the trap of shifting blame onto circumstances or other people. But the reality is, we all encounter obstacles and we all face setbacks. What sets successful people apart is their ability to take responsibility for their failures and use them as learning experiences. They don't let failures define them. Instead, they embrace them, learn from them, and move forward with more wisdom and determination. When you own your journey, you take accountability for both your successes and your failures. You don't hide behind excuses or place the blame on anyone else. The journey of self-reliance also requires us to confront the fear of failure. Fear is an ever-present force, and when you're setting out to achieve something meaningful, it will undoubtedly try to hold you back. Fear of failure can paralyze you, make you second-guess your decisions, or even convince you that you're not capable of achieving your goals. But here's the thing. Fear is a natural part of growth. It's the signal that you're stepping into the unknown, that you're challenging yourself to be more than what you've been. And that's when real progress happens. The more you step outside of your comfort zone, the more you'll realize that failure isn't something to fear. In fact, it's one of your greatest teachers. It's through failure that you learn resilience, creativity, and the ability to adapt. When you own your journey, you become fearless in the face of failure because you understand that it's a stepping stone, not a stopping point. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you need external validation to feel validated in your journey. But when you embrace self-reliance, you recognize that the only validation you need is your own. You are the one who must believe in yourself, even when others don't. You are the one who must take the first step, even when the path seems unclear. You are the one who must keep going, even when the odds are stacked against you. External approval may come, but it cannot and should not be your driving force. Your inner belief in yourself is what will carry you through the toughest moments. Self-reliance also means being honest with yourself about your strengths and weaknesses. It's easy to fool ourselves into thinking we're capable of everything, or on the other hand, to sell ourselves short and think we can't do anything. The key is understanding your unique strengths and weaknesses and embracing them as part of your journey. No one is perfect, and no one is expected to be, but self-reliance means being aware of where you excel and where you need to grow, and then taking responsibility for improving. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent and committed to improving every single day. The beauty of self-reliance is that it frees you from the limitations of others' expectations. Too often we get trapped in the idea that we need to live up to the expectations placed on us by society, by family, or by peers. We allow those external pressures to define our path, and as a result, we often find ourselves off course, pursuing goals that are not truly our own. Self-reliance empowers you to create your own vision for your life, to follow your own dreams, and to craft your own destiny. It's about breaking free from the expectations of others and deciding for yourself what success looks like. It's also about making the decision to keep going even when things get tough. The road to success is not always a smooth one. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when you feel like it's too much to handle, when you wonder if it's worth the effort. But self-reliance means developing the strength to keep moving forward, even when the journey gets difficult. You understand that the challenges are just part of the process, and you are committed to facing them head-on. You see, nobody's going to hand you success on a silver platter. Nobody's going to push you to reach your full potential. You have to be the one to take ownership of your life, to take responsibility for your actions, and to keep going no matter what. The world may not care about your struggles, but that's exactly why you must. When you own your journey, you step into your power, you stop making excuses, and you start making things happen. It's not easy, but it's worth it. And at the end of the day, there's no one else who can do it for you. Consistency is the foundation of success. It's not the bursts of intense effort that lead to lasting achievements, but the small, steady actions taken every single day. Many people seek shortcuts, looking for ways to achieve success quickly, hoping that there's some magic formula that will make the path easier. But the truth is, success doesn't come from shortcuts. It doesn't come from one big leap or one grand moment of brilliance. It comes from the quiet, daily commitment to putting in the work, no matter how small or mundane it may seem. The most successful individuals didn't get to where they are because they found a shortcut. They reached the top because they committed to their goals and stuck with them, day in and day out, through the highs and the lows. Success is a result of unwavering dedication to a vision, even when it feels like the progress is slow or barely noticeable. The real question is, are you willing to make the daily effort, regardless of how long it takes or how hard it gets? It's easy to get discouraged when you're grinding day after day without seeing immediate results. We live in a world that's obsessed with instant gratification. We want things fast. Fast food, fast service, and most of all, fast success. But real success is built on the slow, steady progress that comes from showing up every single day and putting in the work even when no one is watching. The greatest achievements are often the result of the most mundane actions, repeated consistently over time. If you want to become a master at anything, whether it's a sport, a business, a craft, or a personal goal, you have to be prepared to do the same thing over and over again, without fail. It's not about having bursts of creativity or working at full capacity for a short period of time. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and being relentless about your dedication, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency doesn't mean doing everything perfectly. In fact, perfectionism can often be the enemy of progress. The key to consistency is making steady, deliberate efforts, even when you make mistakes along the way. It's about learning from those mistakes, adjusting your approach, and continuing to move forward. It's better to make small, imperfect efforts every day than to wait for the perfect moment to act. When you wait for the perfect conditions, you're missing out on the growth that comes from taking action, even when the timing isn't ideal. The consistency of showing up and doing something, anything, even on days when you feel defeated, is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Success also requires discipline. Discipline is the backbone of consistency. It's easy to get distracted by shiny objects or new opportunities, to chase after things that seem exciting or glamorous, but discipline is what keeps you focused on the path that leads to your goals. Discipline means doing the work even when it feels tedious, when the excitement fades, and when the rewards are still far off in the distance. Without discipline, it's easy to give up at the first sign of difficulty. But those who are successful know that discipline is what sustains them, day after day. Consistency also involves setting a clear standard for yourself and maintaining that standard, even when others might slack off or give up. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparison, to look at others and wonder why they seem to be achieving success so much faster than you. But the reality is that everyone's journey is different. The person you're comparing yourself to may have been putting in consistent effort for years, long before you even started. The only way to ensure that you're progressing at your own pace is to focus on your own actions and to trust that, as long as you're consistent, your time will come. The consistency of small actions compounds over time, creating momentum that you can't achieve with short bursts of energy. It's like planting seeds in a garden. At first, you might not see anything happening. The soil looks the same and the seeds seem dormant, but with consistent care, watering, tending, nurturing, the seeds eventually begin to sprout and grow. Before long, you have a full garden, not because you did anything extraordinary, but because you stuck with it. Success is exactly the same. It may feel like nothing is happening at first, but if you keep going, the results will eventually show themselves. What seemed like an impossible goal is now within your reach, simply because you kept going. There's a reason why the most successful people in the world don't rely on luck or chance. They built their success on a foundation of consistency. Whether it's waking up at the same time every day, practicing their craft, or making sure they show up for their commitments, they understand that success isn't an event, it's a process. It's about cultivating habits that support your long-term vision and remaining committed to those habits, no matter what distractions or obstacles arise. Consistency is also about resilience. It's about bouncing back when things don't go according to plan, when you face setbacks, or when life throws challenges in your way. Most people quit when they encounter their first hurdle, but the successful ones know that obstacles are part of the process. They don't let a setback define them. Instead, they let it fuel their resolve, knowing that their consistency will eventually overcome any challenges they face. This resilience comes from the deep belief that, as long as you keep going, you will eventually reach your destination. The road might be bumpy, but if you stay consistent, you will get there. One of the greatest barriers to consistency is impatience. We often want to see quick results, and when they don't come fast enough, we're to abandon our efforts. But impatience is the enemy of progress. You have to be willing to play the long game. Success is rarely instant, and when it is, it's often fleeting. What truly lasts is a steady, consistent effort that builds a strong foundation over time. Success built on consistency is sustainable. It's not just a flash in the pan. It's a lasting achievement that you can build on for years to come. There's no magic trick, no secret shortcut. Success is the result of showing up, doing the work, and being consistent, even when you feel like giving up. It's not glamorous, and it's not easy, but it's the only way to build something that lasts. When you choose consistency, you choose the long-term path to success. You commit to the journey, And through that commitment, you create a future that reflects your dedication and your resilience. Every day matters, every effort counts. The key to success is not doing everything at once, but taking one small step at a time and repeating that step day after day until you reach your destination. In a world filled with distractions, maintaining focus is one of the most difficult yet essential skills to develop. Our attention is constantly pulled in different directions by notifications, social media, emails, and the demands of others. It's easy to get caught up in these distractions, allowing them to steal our time and energy, leaving little room for the pursuit of our most important goals. To achieve anything meaningful in life, we have to block out these distractions and prioritize our goals with unwavering focus. The first step in cultivating focus is understanding that distractions are inevitable. They are a part of the modern world, and we can't entirely eliminate them. The key, however, is not allowing them to dominate your life or dictate your actions. In the past, distractions may have been external, like noisy environments or interruptions from others. Today, however, distractions are often self-imposed. We're drawn into the endless scroll of social media or spend hours watching videos online, even though we have more important things to do. The real challenge is in learning to control your impulses, to manage these distractions rather than letting them manage you. Focus is about making a conscious decision to put your attention where it truly matters. It's about deliberately choosing your goals and giving them the time and energy they deserve. You have to decide what is worth your attention and what isn't. This decision might seem simple, but it's actually one of the hardest things you'll ever do. The temptation to engage with distractions is powerful, and it takes real discipline to say no. You have to make a commitment to yourself that your goals will come first, no matter what the world throws at you. One of the biggest obstacles to focus is the fear of missing out, FOMO. We are constantly bombarded with the idea that we need to be everywhere and know everything. Social media amplifies this pressure, showing us what others are doing and making us feel like we're falling behind if we're not participating in every trend or catching every update. This fear can make it difficult to stay focused on what matters to us, as we worry that we're missing opportunities or connections. But the reality is that chasing after every distraction only leads to exhaustion and frustration. If you want to achieve something significant, you have to let go of the need to be everywhere and accept that focusing on your goals means saying no to a lot of things, even the ones that seem appealing at first. Focus requires creating an environment that supports your goals. If you want to stay focused, you need to eliminate the things that distract you the most. This could mean setting boundaries with your phone, turning off notifications, or creating a designated space for work or study. It could also mean surrounding yourself with people who understand your commitment and will respect your need for focus. The environment you create plays a huge role in your ability to stay on track. If you're constantly surrounded by distractions, whether in your physical space or through digital noise, it's nearly impossible to maintain focus for long periods. This means you have to be proactive in setting up the conditions that allow you to thrive. At the same time, you also need to develop the ability to focus even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is a powerful force, but it's often fleeting. There will be days when you're not feeling inspired or when you're faced with tasks that seem dull or tedious. Focus in these moments is crucial. It's easy to give in to procrastination or allow yourself to be sidetracked by the smallest of distractions. But the ability to push through these moments, to stay committed to your goals even when the motivation isn't there, is what sets high achievers apart from those who never reach their potential. Focus is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the right conditions. It's about making the decision to act, regardless of how you feel. Prioritizing your goals is equally important. You can't focus on everything at once, and trying to do so is a surefire way to burn out. The key to achieving your goals is to figure out which ones matter most and give them the time and energy they deserve. This means being willing to let go of less important tasks or goals that may be distracting you from your main focus. It also means being ruthless about how you spend your time. If you're serious about reaching your goals, you have to ask yourself whether your daily actions are aligned with what you want to achieve. If you're spending time on activities that don't move you closer to your goals, you need to make a change. Prioritization allows you to focus your efforts on the things that will have the greatest impact. Once you've identified your main goals, it's time to break them down into manageable steps. Large goals can often feel overwhelming, and when you don't know where to start, it's easy to get distracted by other tasks or to put things off altogether. But when you break your goals down into smaller, actionable steps, they become much more manageable. You can tackle one small task at a time, and over time, these small actions will add up to significant progress. This approach makes it easier to stay focused because you can see the progress you're making, even if it's incremental. Another key to focus is learning how to manage your energy. We often think of focus in terms of willpower, but it's equally important to consider how much energy you have to give. Focusing for long periods of time requires mental and physical energy, and without proper management, you can quickly burn out. This means making sure you get enough rest, eat well, and engage in activities that replenish your energy. It also means being strategic about when you focus. You don't need to spend hours at a time trying to force concentration. Instead, break your work into focused intervals using techniques like the Pomodoro technique, where you work in 25-minute blocks with short breaks in between. This allows you to maintain focus while also giving your brain the rest it needs to stay sharp. When you focus, you also learn to eliminate the urge to multitask. Multitasking is often seen as a valuable skill in today's fast-paced world, but the truth is, it can severely impair your ability to focus and tasks effectively. When you try to juggle multiple things at once, you're dividing your attention and reducing the quality of your work. Focusing on one thing at a time allows you to give it your full attention and achieve better results. The more you practice single tasking, the better you'll become at maintaining focus for longer periods. Another aspect of focus is having a clear vision of why your goals matter to you. When you have a strong sense of purpose, it's easier to stay focused because you're driven by a deeper sense of meaning. Without this connection, it's easy to get distracted or lose motivation when challenges arise. The more you can connect your goals to your personal values, the more focused and determined you'll become. It's not enough to just want success. You need to understand why success matters to you, what it will bring into your life, and how it aligns with your long-term vision. Lastly, focusing on your goals requires patience. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are our greatest achievements. Focus means accepting that success is a journey, not a destination. There will be setbacks, delays, and moments of frustration. But if you stay focused on the end goal and keep pushing forward, you will make progress. It's about trusting the process, staying committed to your goals, and continuing to move forward even when the road seems long.